Salutations and a clenched fist salute, YouTube renegades. Welcome y bienvenidos once again to the one and only Outlaw News, the small 1,900 plus nobody platform on YouTube that sprays the YouTube yarda with a flare tip can of Krylon Klecha. I am your host, the one and only YouTube Mabonista, the voice of the barrio, the voice of the vato loco, the voice of the voiceless. Que pasa, pinche cyber raza? I hope all is well in cyber vato land, and everyone is here today either 113 or 114% activated and strapped with their critical thinking beanies on extra tight, homeboys. So, if you're suited and booted y listo for acción, let's mount up, Outlaw Posse, and ride to the dark side of YouTube for a moment. Though we outlaws shall surf through the dark valley of snitch influencer platforms, an outlaw will fear no snitch influencer's lies or manipulation. Okay, YouTube renegades, now that we kicked it off with our official outlaw credo, let's get activated. As you all know, YouTube renegades, your boy, the outlaw, is extremely critical of the prison genre. And when I say the prison genre, I mean everything, not just the snitch influencers. The pathetic books that are ghost-written by individuals like Chris Blanchford, the mini documentaries such as Gangland, I criticize all of it. But I specifically on YouTube cannot stand the snitch influencer community. So from time to time, whether I profile an individual or not, I get asked in my comment section what I think of specific individuals. So I decided to make this video on a specific individual, Hector Bravo, the prison guard, aka the prison bull. One, because he's actually not an ex-prisoner, and he's actually a normal citizen with a credible background who used to work for CDCR. But I'm going to use him to expose the truth about the entire prison genre. So then once you see how Hector, the prison guard, aka the prison bull, his credibility is no good on social media or on any other platform, you will see that we should highly question and be critical of every snitch influencer or any individual who tries to speak on the prison genre. But before I begin giving you my opinion on the champion for truth and transparency, allegedly, Hector Bravo, the prison guard, please allow your boy the outlaw to give a short, unauthorized bio on one champion for truth and transparency against CDCR, claims the prison guard, aka the prison bull. So, Hector Bravo is a former military serviceman who served in Iraq, who was well trained by the CIA in counterinsurgency, who was part of highly illegal operations to kidnap and torture Iraqi civilians. They would be kidnapped and placed inside Pelican Bay-like shoe units inside of CIA black site prisons. After retiring from military service, Hector Bravo, aka the prison bull, decided to use his training and intelligence in counterinsurgency against American citizens who are incarcerated inside California prisons. He applied and was hired to work for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations as a prison guard. He worked for CDCR for 16 years, retiring as the position of Public Information Officer at R.J. Donovan in San Diego County. Hector, the Marvel comic-like champion of the people for transparency and truth against CDCR, worked for CDCR for 16 years. Wow.
All right, as you know, I worked for the California Department of Corrections for 16 years.
The individual almost had 2 decades working with the California Department of Corrections. But that's not all, YouTube renegades. His father is also a retired prison guard with the California Department of Corrections, who has over 20 years plus working for CDCR. So it is safe to say that an individual, the champion for truth and transparency, who's out to expose CDCR's secrets and manipulation.
I don't fucking work there anymore. That's just by design. I'm here to expose the truth.
Hector Bravo, aka the Prison Bull, has at his disposal and knowledge over 30 plus years of knowledge regarding California prisons, specifically prison gangs. Not to mention that he retired as a public information officer with CDCR. For those who don't know, allow me to take a moment to explain to you what a public information officer is inside the prison and his role. As a public information officer, Hector Bravo, the champion for truth and transparency against CDCR's bullshit.
I don't fucking work there anymore. That's just by design. I'm here to expose the truth.
His role is to deal with any inquiries regarding prison-related matters. So that means that any questions journalists, media, family, lawyers, oversight committees, or grassroots organizations that are trying to look into the problem inside of prisons have to talk to him. It's his job to release official press releases to the media and to the public at large. So, in layman's terms, he's a well-paid, well-trained, professional liar. His job is to directly disseminate false information to the media and lie and manipulate families, supporters, and community organizations that are inquiring about what's happening inside of prisons. Now that your boy, the outlaw, gave you a short, unauthorized bio on one, aka the Prison Bull, Hector Bravo, the so-called champion for truth and transparency against CDCR's lies and manipulations.
I'm here to expose the truth.
Let your boy, the outlaw, begin to give you his personal opinion on what I feel about Hector Bravo, aka the Prison Bull, and his content. Well, right off the bat, YouTube renegades, hands down, Hector Bravo, aka the Prison Bull, is the poster boy for what a Chicano Uncle Tom would look like. I swear this individual has to be the most ignorant, dumbest, buffoon-like idiot on YouTube's prison genre. My IQ gets a little smaller every time I listen to his and watch his content. Even my wife, who occasionally walks in as I'm listening to some of this content, once overheard me listening to aka the Prison Bull, Hector Bravo's video, and she goes, "This individual sounds extremely stupid." And I just laughed because in my head I thought this guy, hands down, is like the most ignorant individual on YouTube speaking on the prison genre. And I'll explain why in a moment. But first, let's touch on this issue. Hands down, Hector Bravo is a successful man. He's an ex-military serviceman, a retired ex-prison guard with CDCR of 16 years, a published author, and I believe he does speaking engagements. He's never been really involved in any criminal activity. By all accounts, he's your average citizen and a successful man. Yet, to acquire status, fame, and money on social media platforms, this Prison Bull, Hector Bravo, the alleged people's champion for transparency and truth against CDCR manipulation and lies, had to go and beg some of the most lowest pieces of trash on YouTube to validate him, to put him on the YouTube platform, to promote him, to plug him, to help him make some money off this YouTube thing. He had to go to the lowest scum of the earth, fucking lying, manipulative, snitch influencers, dropouts, and pieces of shit. By all standards, YouTube Renegades, that is 113% the most pathetic thing I've ever heard anyone have to do. Individuals such as the prison bull, Hector Bravo, who are retired correctional officers and law enforcement, even after retirement, are held to high standards of code and ethics. One of those code and ethics is about fraternizing with individuals such as the snitch influencer community. Unless it's some sort of family related thing or official business, individuals such as Hector Bravo and ex-law enforcement should not be fraternizing, let alone begging them to validate them on YouTube. Now, YouTube Renegades, let's touch on his content and his credibility in the prison genre here on YouTube, or as a former so-called champion for truth and transparency employee of CDCR.
I'm here to expose the truth.
Okay, YouTube Renegades, I don't need to go into big details and tell 100 different things about this guy, Hector, 8K, the prison bull. All I have to do is point out one specific thing, one specific video. This buffoon, peanut for brains, Hector, 8K, the prison bull, recently did a video on the Black Guerilla family. Yes, the BGF.
Should I be slow to take a stand? Should I show fear to any man? This oath will kill me. Should I grow lax in discipline or in time of strife refuse my hand? This oath will kill me. Long live Comrade George Jackson. Long live the Black Guerilla family. What the fuck did you just read, Hector?
Now, remind you, this individual has over 30 plus years of knowledge regarding California prisons and prison gangs, which would put him back somewhere in the late 70s. So with that said, this individual did a video about his knowledge and what he knows about the Black Guerilla family, and remind his viewers that he was trained by CDCR and plus did his own research to find out the origins of the Black Guerilla family. This individual spent over 10 minutes making a video on the Black Guerilla family and said not one thing about the Black Guerilla family except that, one, George Jackson is the co-founder and founder of the Black Guerilla family.
George Jackson founded or co-founded the Black Guerilla family, right? And I'm reading because none of this was memorized.
So out of 10 plus minutes, all this individual who has 30 plus years of experience and knowledge regarding prison and prison gangs knows about the Black Guerilla family is that George Jackson is the co-founder and founder of the Black Guerilla family. Before I begin to break that down, YouTube Renegades, let me ask you this. Besides being told that George Jackson is the founder or co-founder of the Black Guerilla family, what has any snitch influencer, fake news media ever told you about the Black Guerilla family? Nothing, right? Besides that, one, George Jackson is the founder and co-founder of the Black Guerilla family.
BGF member George Jackson also died in this incident.
So the only one thing, definitive thing that anyone has ever told us, even an individual such as the prison bull, Hector Bravo, is that George Jackson is the founder and co-founder of the Black Guerilla family. YouTube Renegades, have you ever seen a mini documentary on the Black Guerilla family? Now, mind you, the Black Guerilla family is one of the 4 biggest California gangs, and I believe one of the top gangs in the federal system too as well. Yet, there's no documentary, no Chris Blanchard Fox 11 special, nothing. Now, mind you, American Gangster, Gangland, and then you got Discovery Channel and National Geographic's prison documentaries on gangs. They cover the Aryan Brotherhood. They cover the Nuestra Familia. They cover the Mexican Mafia. They cover gangs no one's heard of and even wants to hear of. Yet, they have never spoken on the Black Guerilla family, except If they make a video, I guarantee you the entire video or documentary won't tell you shit except George Jackson is the founder and co-founder of the Black Guerilla family, which is a complete 113%, 114% bullshit lie. I hope you guys are in for a little quick history lesson on the civil rights movement. In 1968, the FBI created a covert operation called the COINTEL program. This program was an illegal program to sabotage and discredit and even kill civil rights leaders. On that list of individuals that were targeted were the Black Panthers and George Jackson. So when you hear that George Jackson is the founder and co-founder of the Black Guerilla family, that is not more than a lie. That is modern day COINTELPRO that that supposedly ended and was exposed in 1972, 1973. Yet to this day, in this age, 2024, they are still spreading the same COINTELPRO disinformation that George Jackson is the leader and co-founder of the Black Guerilla family to smut up his political activism inside a prison. Okay, YouTube renegades, it's not that hard to figure out who, what, where are the origins of the Black Guerilla family. The documentation is out there. It's not a mystery, yet somehow no one seems to know the secrets of this organization, right? Even though in 1973, the first documentation regarding California prison gangs, regarding revolutionary activities inside California prisons, not gang activities, revolutionary activities, which spoke on the main four California prison gangs, the Black Guerilla family being one of them. Okay, this is the first documentation ever released to the public. It was provided by one Sergeant William Hankins, who testified in front of a subcommittee of United States congressmen in Washington, D.C., okay, under oath. Sergeant William Hankins is credited for being the individual who discovered the four major California gangs and documenting him. He is the go-to guy on information regarding the earliest known documentation when it comes to California's four main prison gangs. This individual testified under oath that one, George Jackson was founder and leader of the Prison Black Panthers chapter. He would also go to testify that one, James Harold Doc Holliday is the actual leader and founder of the Black Guerilla family, which was founded in late 1971 at Soledad Prison. And that is corroborated by James Harold Doc Holliday himself, who in the mid-'80s, during a federal drug case against him, testified that he himself started the Black Guerilla family in late 1971 at Soledad Prison, around the time of November, December of 1971, 3 months after George Jackson was assassinated at San Quentin Prison on August 21st, 1971. So how is it possible for George Jackson to co-found or found the Black Guerilla family, the BGF, if he's been dead? Hector Bravo, aka the Prison Bull, the so-called champion for the people of transparency and truth, the David, David, who's versing Goliath, the CDCR evil giant, right, happens to do nothing more than regurgitate and repeat the same bullshit lies that CDCR and law enforcement, fake news media, and the snitch influencers have spread since the beginning of the prison genre, right? That one George Jackson is the co-founder and leader of the Black Guerilla family, which is a complete 113% fucking lie. So there it is, his credibility as a so-called truth and transparency teller of the prison genre on social media. Pretty pathetic that he's a fucking conniving, manipulative liar, just like the entire bunch of the snitch influencer communities, right? who fucking tell you stories all the time about how they were one-time heavy hitters, tax collectors, ran drug operations, or helped launder money for whatever criminal organization they were from, and then go 5 minutes later tell you when they debriefed, that they'd never debriefed because they had no information to give law enforcement or the prison, right? As if the prison system doesn't want to uncover their money, right? Money laundering operations, drug operations, or any of that, right? None of them have ever testified to it. Surprising. But let's not get sidetracked from, one, the prison bull, aka, Hector Bravo, aka the prison bull, and his manipulative lies. This individual regurgitates the same lies that have been regurgitated by the snitch influencer community. But that's not all. He manipulates his viewers, because if you listen to his stories very good, he tries to act like he's knows who these individuals are, as if he's had some sort of communication or in contact with them. Well, in fact, he's never met any validated, bona fide member, associate, or leader of any prison gang. He's only met these individuals after they debriefed, which, if you ask me, is a complete difference. Okay? He's never met a Todd Ashker. He's never met a Ronnie Yondell, okay? Arturo Castellanos, or Johnny Martinez, right? He's only met Yoda, a dropout debriefer that was working with the staff, right? Even when he was active. That's who he knows. He's never met any bona fide, validated, active individuals. He only comes in contact with dropouts and debriefers. Just like on his YouTube channel. If he was fair and balanced, don't you think he would have some active ex-parolee, some organization that represents actives, family members of actives? Nope. He exclusively only deals with former law enforcement, former or current prison officials, right? Even though he claims he's against them, and his favorite buddies of all, the snitch influencer community. How fucking pathetic. Without running this video long and keeping it under 30 minutes, I am gonna, instead of continuing ranting off on my opinion on Hector Bravo, aka the prison bull, aka peanut for brains, I'm gonna leave you with 3 bits of information that you can ask Hector, aka the prison bull, aka peanut for brains, yourself on his platform and see what he says. But don't expect him to answer you. Don't expect him to reply. What he'll do is erase your comment. But by him erasing the comment, you'll see that in fact, he is not about transparency, and that he is one of the biggest manipulators on YouTube today. One, you can ask Hector Bravo, peanut for brains, aka the prison bull, how many times CDCR or himself has ever come across an inmate account that possesses large sums of money by a so-called alleged prison gang leader. Now, mind you, he is a public information officer. Not only should he know stuff like this, but he has access to find this information even as a retired employee. But he won't, because they don't exist. But he will delete your comment. 2, ask him what specific crimes the alleged leaders, associates, and members of the California prison gangs did to get placed inside one of California prison's SHU units. And what a judge ruled that evidence in 2014's Asker's lawsuit and settlement. If he ruled that evidence to be false misinformation, or fabricated information. And the third and final one would be to name one law enforcement informant that's actually testified in court, or dropout that's testified in court to the existence of large sums of money inside a so-called prison gang leader's account, or just in fact testified as a first-hand percipient witness against their so-called former members or leaders of their organization, right? not as an expert witness, as a first-hand witness. When have they ever corroborated any of their prison boogeyman stories in court? Again, don't expect an answer. Expect your comment to be deleted. And I'm even going to give you a bonus one. Ask him that if in fact Joe Morgan is a career law enforcement informant, guaranteed he will erase that, because just like the snitch influencer community, their job is to sell that non-Chicano, known documented snitch. Joe Morgan is the iconic Greek god-like leader of the Chicano underworld and must be worshipped instead of an actual Chicano. There it is, YouTube Renegades. For my commenter that asked, and for those who want to know what I think of Hector Bravo, aka Peanut for Brains, the Prison Bulls channel and his content, there it is. That is what I think of him. I think that he is lower scum, a low IQ moron, and it's pretty pathetic that I, the outlaw, see more credible some snitch influencer, some Megan's Law celebrity rapist, or some programmed serial killer like Mundo Mendoza, or habitual liar like Michael Thompson as more entertaining, more credible, and actually sound more intellectual than an actual prison guard, right? A former public information officer with the California Department of Corrections, who, if I guarantee you 113% YouTube Renegades, if we saw his W-2 tax forms, we see that he is still being paid by the California Department of Corrections because he's working covertly now, right? Spreading false misinformation on YouTube and other platforms, right? As a prison influencer. Yes, YouTube Renegades. I said it. Listen to what I'm saying. He is a gang glorifying, prison promoting, prison influencer.
So your boy doing his research as he always does. Yeah, I fucking learned about him. Did my own research, right? Hector, you be infatuated with gangs.
I'm not saying he's an anti-prison influencer. He is exactly what he's doing. He is doing exactly what he's doing. Sorry, YouTube Renegades, what he is, a prison influencer. And that's all he's doing. So with that said, YouTube Renegades, always stay 113 or 114% activated and strapped with your critical thinking beanies on extra tight, YouTube Renegades, because there indeed is a war out for your minds, and individuals such as Peanut for Brains, Hector Bravo, the so-called champion for truth and transparency, is out to manipulate you with his lies and opinions. So with that said, a clinch fist salute, y venceremos, YouTube Renegades.